right, welcome to Costume Talk, and today I'm really excited because I've managed to catch up with Thomas Willeford of Brute Force Studios. So, hi Thomas, it's great to have you on our little show.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I get to sit down finally.
I know.
Yes.
So here we are at Wild West Con.
Yes, Wild West Con is I'm going to say it. It's my favorite event.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what makes it your favorite?
Actually, it's the immersive nature of it. When you walk around, everything's a photo shoot. You feel like you're there. You're in a Western town.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking past the jail. You're walking past the courthouse here. And you can imagine you're there. It's got that complete and utter escapism from the drudgery that is our reality. Oh wait, I have a great life. So it's even better than my great life. So.
Right. So what got you into steampunk in the first place?
I got into it through an interesting way. A lot of people get in through music or through literature or something. For me, it was a game. It was called Space 1889. It was a Victorian science fiction game, came out in 1988. I was hooked. I was into Victorian science fiction, but this was steampunk. This was an alternate past, and which we, if you look it up online, all that type of stuff, it's, humans went to Mars in like the 1870s, changed everything. And I was hooked. I loved it because it had a whole world created, or whole universe.
So if you were going to describe what steampunk is for somebody who doesn't know anything, what's your short little description?
Steampunk is about a speculative past. What if something had changed?
Mm-hmm.
What if analog technology kept going instead of the digital age? What if we went with electricity instead of diesel? How would things go? Or if we stuck with steam power because we didn't master internal combustion. And people like what if, because they always imagine it being a little better or a little darker or a little more self-serving.
Fantastic. Thomas and I first met on the set of Castle.
Yes.
Where you had done the arm and a bunch of the costume pieces for Nathan Fillian.
Yes. There was a young lady who was cruising San Diego Comic-Con for costumes because I knew this was coming up. And she saw my stuff and said, "Hey, this is great. We'd love your work. Can you show it to my boss?" And I said, "Sure." And they said, "Where are you from?" They said, I said, "Pennsylvania." And she practically threw away her own card. And she was like, never mind. I said, "But I'm going to be in LA next week, and I'm going to be there for whatever time was necessary." And we extended our trip, went to LA, and they saw our stuff, and they just kept buying it. They kept buying all of our stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did they buy it or rent it?
They bought most of it, and then I went home and they said, "We need more because we decided to change this and this." So I made more, and they kept buying stuff. And at one point they contacted and said, "Look, we're kind of out of money. I broke ABC, but we really want those mechanical arms." And I said, "You can rent them."
And they went, "What?"
They said, "What?" So instead of spending $3,000 on a mechanical arm, I rented them for a few hundred. And when I got them back, I was able to sell them for so much more because they'd been on television.
Right. Well, not just on television, but on Nathan Fillian.
On Nathan Fillian. Yeah. One of them still had fresh Nathan Fillian on it, and there was a bidding war on that. It became, for that day on eBay, it got on the top list of things that were on there.
That's outstanding.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a good day for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about your books, because you've written a couple of books.
I have. The first one is called Steampunk Gear, Gadgets, and Gizmos, and it's how to make stuff. It's how to make ray guns and how to make goggles and stuff like that are durable. These are brass, hard-working pieces. The second book, we went for more of a kid's book. It's all foam and stuff like that, but so easy to make. It's called the Steampunk Adventurer's Guide.
I think I own that one.
And they all have little stories in them. So you have it kind of teaches how to make a little background story to your products. If I make a mechanical arm, there's a reason, there's a story behind the guy who has that mechanical arm. And I like to do that type of thing.
All right, so Thomas was also a judge on the game show Steampunk'd a little while back. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
I had an absolutely awesome experience. Some of the contestants have complained Oh God, it was terrible. It's a contest. There's $100,000 at stake. They're not going to make it easy, and you're not going to have a good time unless you win. But I had an awesome time. I got to be a judge. I was supposed to be a contestant, and they decided this was a bad idea.
Why?
Because I've been steampunk longer than some of these people have been alive.
Right,
That's why.
Right. So cruel and
It would have been
unusual
really
to everybody else,
in this corner, weighing in the giant gorilla at 300 pounds. You know, and it's just old age and deceit beating out youth and skill. I still talk to a lot of them, and it was really cool to see steampunk kind of get its own show.
Right.
Some people complained about the show, but my thought is, what means we deserve a show? We got a show.
We got a show at all.
All. I was dancing. I thought it was great.
Right.
It did really well on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah. Yeah, because we watched it again on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
It came out.
I bragged about being on Netflix, because Netflix was the up and coming thing. People was like, "Oh, you've got a show?" Yeah, I've got a show on Netflix, and they're, "Ooh, you're now important." It's yes. Now buy me a drink.
Get a lot of drinks out of that.
Oh yes, I didn't buy a drink for a whole year.
So, how many of these kinds of shows do you do a year?
I was up to 30 some odd events a year, 30 some odd weekends away. I've pulled back to one a month, just because we were not producing product. We're so
Right,
busy
you're too
getting
busy
ready.
traveling.
Too busy traveling. Got to go to New Zealand and Australia.
Is steampunk big over there?
Oh my God! In New Zealand, there's a town, Omara, and it's a steampunk town. I mean,
Wow.
they have an event. They have like a steampunk HQ and all this stuff, and it's done brilliantly. They did a good job.
Wow, that's fantastic. I want to go.
New steampunk events popping up in Europe all the time. Yeah, it's great.
That's really cool. I'm like, is steampunk, do you consider steampunk at its pinnacle? Is it on its decline? Do you think it's still rising?
Well,
what are your thoughts on that?
There's the macro and micro. The macro, it's still going up. The micro, as in within certain small groups, some people are aging out of it and all, but there's a whole new crew of people coming in with different expectations of it. So if steampunk is fading, I don't know, because I'm busy. I mean, I'm as busy as I ever been. I'm making stuff as fast as I can.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah, I've got requests to do a third book. So it seems to be doing pretty well. I'm happy with it.
Good. So is there anything that I have missed asking about that I should ask about?
Was it awesome building a...
Oh yeah, the robot. The giant robot?
The giant robot?
Yes.
I built a giant robot. So I built a giant robot for an event called Steampunk World's Fair. It was 16 feet tall.
Yes, I
It weighed half a ton. And it's as far as I know, it's one of the largest posable action figures ever. It's not motorized, but you can move the arms and all that stuff. I had a great time. Who doesn't like giant robots? But that was a couple years ago. I just built a Vespa that is themed to the game Fallout.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that grow online.
It's outside. It's fully drivable and fully street legal.
Oh, is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was driving it around.
Oh right, because you drove here. Because I can't imagine that.
The shipping on that was a bear. No, I drove here. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I drove from Pennsylvania to Tucson, Arizona.
Next project.
My next project. Actually, we're doing a new line of. We're doing something we call Dragon Punk.
Dragon Punk.
Yes.
Oh.
We're mixing steampunk with Dragon Age, and we're taking it back. Everything didn't change in the Victorian era. Everything changed much earlier and became steampunk, but they had mechanical devices and weirdness even earlier, and it was a form of magic, but it was actually physics. So we're playing with that with costuming, and I'm making new sets for Amy Wilder, who's our main model and one of our head designers.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
And I'm excited. I'm really glad that we were able to catch up with you. So.
I'm glad too. It gave me a chance to sit down, because I'm gonna get on my steampunk Vespa.
Great.
And I'm gonna drive over and drive the car. It was the original car from the TV show Legend.
We'll have fun with that.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up with you again hopefully next year or sooner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. So if you like this video, subscribe and give us comments below on what we can do better or suggestions for a future costume talk. See you next time.